Hello friends, welcome back. More Smite stuff. Talking about Bellona, super quick, build and all that faff, all that fun stuff. Before I start, I'm gonna say this is gonna be real similar to builds I do for any auto attack based warriors. Like Osiris is probably gonna be like the exact same kind of thing as this. So if you're like, what do I build on Osiris, man? I don't know. It's like probably this, probably pretty close to it. Just so you know. And I'm probably gonna repeat a lot of stuff from what I said in other videos, and other builds, because solo lane builds are kind of somewhat similar. But anyways. Let's get into it. I've been doing a little bit of Bellona stuff, not tons of Bellona stuff, but I feel like I've got an okay grasp. If you don't have any idea what to build, bam, I'll try to help you out a little bit. So first off, let's just quickly do the level order of the abilities. So first, you're starting with your bludgeon, because obviously you want to get the AoE cleave on your autos to clear stuff, to clear minions in lane, to clear camps, whatever you're doing. You want to get that. Level 2. You can go either way here. You get your dash, or you can get your Scourge. Scourge is probably what you want to go for, ideally. Dash is, like, a little bit safer. It's not a huge dash, obviously, but if you're, like, super worried about being pressured out, you get your dash. You could get out a tiny little bit. Could be worth the safety. Level 3, you could get... Probably want to get your dash, just to be safe. If you don't know where the jungler is, may as well get the dash, just so you have a little bit of escapability. Now, here's where it's kind of, like, up to you, in a sense. So the thing that most people do is the bludgeon. Most people max the bludgeon first, which makes sense. You get more damage on it. That's essentially your main clear. But if you think about it, you're generally just using the AoE autos to clear anyways. And if you're up against a god like a Tyr or a Sobek, I haven't really seen the Guardians, but like Sobek or Ymir, Hercules even, someone who can stop your slam from coming down. So like, makes it so you don't get the slam damage off on your bludgeon. Then it might be better, or it will be better, to level up the Scourge first instead, because you'll get more of a heal from it. And you're not going to be getting the slam damage from Bludgeon in lane anyways, if they're going to be stopping it all the time, so leveling that up, you're just, wasting points. So if you're up against a Tyr who's, like, actually fearlessing you out of your Bludgeon every time, you want to max your Scourge first. If you don't have someone who can stop your Bludgeon, Scourge or Bludgeon would be good to level up first. I kind of prefer doing Scourge more first now, because, like, for the most part, I'm just clearing with autos anyways. And Scourge, you just get more healed up, more you leveled up. So it's just, a little bit safer. But both are fine. Bludgeon or Scourge, depending on the matchup, depending on what you want to do. Get your alt level 5. Max whichever one you want to max first, Scourge or Bludgeon. Then next you're going to do the other one. Get points in your alt when you can, because it's really good to level it up. And again, finish up whatever one you're leveling up first, Scourge or Bludgeon. Then do the other one. Get alt when you can. And then your dash last. And then bam, look at that. Fully leveled up. That's how it works. Alright, so build-wise, you're always starting with Death Toll. I don't see a reason to... Don't want to get Bluestone. Like, Death Toll, especially with the buff that Death Toll got, it's just really good. You're clearing with your cleave. You're going to be healing up a bunch. 8 health per hit if you're grouping the minions. And there's, 6 minions. That's 6 times 8, which is a pretty big number. Like, what, 54? No. So, it's, it's a number. It's a high number per hit. So that's pretty good. Also, you're getting more of a heal on your Scourge, which is never a bad thing. So it's just really good to get Death Toll, sustain up and everything. I want to get Bluestone. Maybe you can get Mark the Vanguard if you want to be a little bit tankier and you don't think you need the healing. But Bluestone just doesn't really work well on her. IMO. So, one of these two, probably like 99% of the time Death Toll. Maybe you want to try Mark the Vanguard once or twice. Alright, and then we're in our boots. I'm going to just say Warrior Tabi. I know some people like doing the Ninja Tabi on AA Warriors, like a Bellona. So if you want to do Ninja Tabi, give her a go. But for the most part, going with Warrior Tabi. Next, so the way I'm doing this, first item I'm building is my physical defense item. Second item is my magical defense item. If you're up against magical on lane, just switch the order. Do the magical one first, physical second. It'll be the same items regardless. You don't really need breastplate on her. You didn't need breastplate on her last season. She doesn't really do super well with cooldown. Like, cooldown's never a bad thing to have, but it's not super worth on her. So I would say Nemean or Spectral. I'm a huge fan of Spectral armor. I'd say get Spectral 90% of the time. When you'd want to get Nemean over Spectral would be if you're against, 2 hunters, because they can just pop the aura of this from a distance, or there's a lot of physical gods who just have, long range abilities that can pop the aura of this before you're in a fight. But I'd say most of the time, I would personally default to Spectral, unless, lots of auto attacks or lots of long range abilities, then you want to go Nemean instead. Second, so usually I would say, here's what I would say normally. Anything from the talisman tree is good, right? All those are good items. You want to get a little bit of anti-heal, a little bit of CCR, a little bit of MP5. And anything from this tree is also good. But you're playing Bellona. you're playing an auto attack warrior, I'm gonna say go for Shogun's Kasari like most of the time. You're getting free attack speed, and you're gonna be using your auto attacks, so you may as well just pick up Shogun's Kasari. Not gonna lie, Spectral Armor and Shogun's Kasari are like my two favorite items right now, so I'm a little bit biased towards them. But again, none of these other items are bad. All the magical defense items are good right now, but just because you're an auto attack based warrior, getting the extra like 15% free attack speed is just seems worth. You're gonna be using your autos. No. You just may as well get something that gives you a little bit of attack speed. Even if you're not getting like Iqbal or Kins or anything, you're not going for an auto attack based build. You're still gonna be using your auto attacks a bunch. So a little bit more speed means more damage, right? It's a good thing. If you don't have the gold, Oni Huntress is still a good item. It's got a pretty good passive if you're diving the backline. If you're ulting the backline, you're standing in your ult with this passive around, like, you know, a few other gods. Just you're gonna be getting a lot of extra like protections and mitigations, which would be pretty good. But again, Shogun's Kasari would be my general choice. Next, this is where I'll build my Frostbound Hammer. There's not many other items I'd put in this slot. I think Frostbound just works super well on her still. It's the same as it was in Season 3. You're slowing enemies. You're slowing down their basic attacks. You can stick to them. You can do more damage. Help out your team. A little bit of crowd control for free. Well, I guess for 200 gold. I would just pick a Frostbound here, third item, almost every single time.
But the hand that wields it.
The only time I wouldn't, and I'll talk about this a little bit more later, is if you're going for like a more auto attack based build. Like you got a lead and you want to push that lead. But for the most part, just Frostbound third is a good item. After this, so you can kind of switch this up a little bit. Generally, I'd like to get a robe here. Any of the robes, really. Hide of the Urchin's a little bit late, but you don't have tons of health in this build, so getting a little bit more health is always good. Spirit robe is always my go-to. Get the protections, get some cooldown, which again, you don't need the cooldown, but it's nice, and it's got a really, really good passive. If you're super ahead, right, and you feel you don't need the extra protections, you don't need the cooldown, whatever, this is where I'd pick up my like offensive item. I would recommend getting an Iqbal or Silver Branch Bow, I guess, depending on who you're up against. It just gives you cheap attack speed, super easy. Get the attack speed, a little bit more damage. Pick this up, and then late game you could sell it for Kins to get the Kins passive. Okay, if you're trying to like push your lead, you're trying to be a big mean Bellona character, Silver Branch Bow is a good pickup. / Iqbal, you know, depending on if you're up against lots of magical or physicals. But for the most part, I'd say something from the robe tree. Magi's is really good still. Mantle of Discord's really good. Spirit Robe's also really good. I'm just going to say Spirit Robe. That's like my default for most things. And then last item. Normally I like to get something here with health. Anything from this tree can actually work except for Shield of Regrowth. Mail of Renewal is not terrible. It works well if you're like in lots of fights. I kind of really like Gauntlet of Thebes, just because you're giving your whole team lots of protections, which is nice. Stone of Gaia works really, really well against a knock-up comp. If you're up against like a Bacchus, a Wheelix, or a Vulcan, a Wheelix, something like that, getting Stone of Gaia would be a good pickup here. You're getting a lot of health. You're getting the HP5, you're getting the MP5, and you're getting the CC immunity when you're knocked up. And you're getting the old pass where you regenerate 2% of your maximum health every 5 seconds, which is pretty dang good. So that would be a really good pickup against that kind of comp. It's like, I guess you could pick this up against not a knock-up comp. It just seems like you're kind of wasting one of the passives, which just feels a little bit weird. And you're not getting protections from it too. It's just the health, but a lot of health. A lot of health, so it's not a terrible pickup. What else? Oh yeah, one item I really, really like on here is Witchblade. You get more attack speed, you get health, you get movement speed. And with healing being such a thing right now, I feel like this anti-heal is better than the anti-heal from Pestilence. I'd rather pick this up than a Pestilence if I can fit it into my build. It's not tons of health, right? You don't have like 3k health with this build, but you have decent attack speed. You're gonna be sticking to them because you're Frostbound, and as you're sticking to them, you'll be stopping the healing coming out, even if it's like, you know, meditations or like lifesteal or something. It'd be really, really strong. But if there's any healing on the team, like there's a Sylvanas heal, there's a Ra heal, Chang'e, whatever, pick this up and just like slow down the healing a bunch. It's what, 15% reduced healing, stacking up to 3 times and lasting 5 seconds. That's a lot better than your Pestilence. You can get all of those off. Pestilence is only 25%. I mean, Pestilence is 25% to everyone in the area, but this is 45% for 5 seconds to whoever you're on. And you can be auto-attacking multiple people with your cleave, so it's just really good to pick up. So I would recommend picking it up against any kind of healing comps. If there's not a healing comp, you could get Winged Blade 2 for the slow immunity. I think Relic Dagger might be able to be fit into a build. It's just kind of awkward in solo lane builds because you usually have a teleport. And yeah, I talked about all the other health items. You could pick up, oh yeah, Masamune is pretty fun to use. I don't think it's like a great item, but it works as like a hybrid defense, offense item. You get a little bit of power and you get some protection when you're around people. Again, there's not going to be lots of health in this build, but if you had the Spirit Robe, the mitigations are going to do a buttload for you, which is really, really nice. One thing I forgot to mention, Gladiator Shield. If you have a lead or you're behind, say you just bought your boots, and then you back and you have like 1,700 gold and you're looking to fight right away, you're looking to do objectives, you're looking to maybe push a lead, like start rotating, or you're looking to just get that quick power spike. You back after boots with 1,700 gold, pick up Gladiator Shield. It's a pretty good item. It's not great. You're probably gonna be selling it late game, but for 1,700 gold, it's a pretty decent early power spike. Well, honestly, this is decent. You know, this build will work probably if you're trying to think of what to build. Test out other stuff, obviously, but I really like Shogun's Kasari on here because of the passive. Spectral Armor, I just love as an item in general. It's just really fun to use against any kind of like tiers, Hercules, stuff like that. You're not going to not build Frostbound on her because it just synergizes so well with your kit. Spirit Rope's just like a, you know, classic go-to. You could pick up something else. You could pick up some attack speed if you really want it. This is where I would pick up an Ickfall or Silver Branch if I'm ahead. And then again, you get attack speed from Witchblade, which means you'll be auto-attacking more, which means you'll be hitting more with Frostbound, which means that you'll be doing more damage, and you'll be reducing healing more because of the passive. And you also have the old passive of the reduced attack speed, or the old aura. So you got these attack speed with this build. You're going to be doing okay damage. It's not like a super duper aggressive build, but if you're going to be like diving the backline onto some mages and ADCs, this would be really annoying to deal with. Like you dive onto a hunter, right? You ult onto him, he turns and tries to auto attack you, Spectral Armor goes off and he gets feared, then you can disarm him and you're just sticking to him with your disarm. It'll be really annoying to deal with. So all in all, I think it would work pretty decently well if you're not too sure what to build on her. Again, all solo lane stuff is very situational, so switch it up as you see fit. It's just kind of meant to be a guideline, give you an idea of what to do. I'm talking about relics real quick. I talked about this in the other video, but I'll do it on this one. Also, you're going to, like 90% of the time, you're picking up teleport as your first relic. I still don't know when's best to upgrade these. I've just been doing it like when I've backed and only had 500 gold. And I'm like, oh, I may as well just upgrade my teleport. So I'm not going to speak too much to that until later, until I figure it out more. But teleport, you're going to be picking up like 99% of the time first. I haven't seen many reasons yet to pick up a different relic, a different first relic in solo. You're not really going to be wanting to get Hog anymore. It's not as good. I mean, maybe if you're looking for an early kill, you get a Horrific Emblem early. Maybe if you're looking for an early kill, you could get Sunder early. Sprint even early if you're looking for an early kill. That'd be the only real reason I could see to pick up a different relic other than teleport right now as your first. Second relic, you can do almost anything other than beads and Aegis, in my opinion. I wouldn't really... I mean, I guess if you're being targeted a bunch, you can pick up beads or Aegis, but if you're being targeted a bunch, you can pick up Magi's or Stone of Gaia or something and not get targeted as easily, which I think would be better than picking up one of these because you're going to want to get a team fight relic or something to help out in team fights. Yeah, I don't know if Hog's worth it right now. I don't know if you'll be picking that up at all. Curse, obviously, against like healing comps, you'll have your Curse, you'll have your Witchblade, you'll be, you know, stopping healing while doing lots of damage. Good thing. Sprint's always a good item to pick up. Helps your team get out of stuff. Never bad. I guess you wouldn't really be getting Blink on Bellona. I don't know. I mean, you could be kind of like a troll pickup. I don't know how well Blink would work on her. B, talked about that. Meditation's always good, but usually supports picking this up. You don't really need 2 meds. I guess 2 meds isn't bad, but I'd much rather have 1 med and then another teamfight relic. Phantom works really well against, you know, a Bacchus comp or an Odin comp, I guess. I guess an Awelix comp and like, or Odin. If you're up against an Awelix or Odin, maybe pick up Phantom. It's a bit harder against an Awelix, so you have to time it to stop you from getting knocked up. But it could help out in a team fight against that. I don't know. I feel like they would just not waste Awelix ults, though. Sunder's pretty strong still. If you can level this up, you could do a lot of damage. I really like Thorns. If you're gonna be diving the backline, taking damage from assassins and hunters and mages, reflecting some of that damage could really work to your advantage. And I'm pretty sure leveling up is like it lasts for 8 seconds or something. Yeah, so that's a long time where you're reflecting 50% of all damage done to you. So you dive in the back, right? dive into a Poseidon, he ults in place, you pop your thorns, and then 50% of the Poseidon ult hits the Poseidon. And now your job just got a lot easier. He's out of the fight. You could probably like finish him off for a kill. Shell's also really good to pick up, obviously. I don't like level 1 Shell as much. Feels kind of weak. But level 2 Shell is still a really good relic. So if you get level 2 Shell, worth in team fights. Again, this will help out your team against like a Poseidon ult, right? Poseidon ults, you pop Shell right away, and then you know, reduce a lot of the damage coming in. Horrific Emblem, mostly just, I guess, if you're trying to chase down kills. Or there's sprints, this counter sprint now. So if the other team picks up like 2 sprints, pick up a Horrific Emblem, and then you could stop them from sprinting away. Pretty cool. Embracer will do pretty well too. It's kind of the same idea as Thorns in my opinion, except like the reverse. Instead of diving in the backline, returning the damage, you're diving in the backline, baiting out the ult, and then getting the health back. So it's like, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to bait out the abilities and do extra damage, go with Thorns. If you want to bait out the abilities and then heal yourself up, go Bracer. Personally, I think Thorns is my favorite though. I would go Thorns in most situations unless like something else is needed. So yeah, all in all, that's kind of like what I think you're looking to build on Bellona, as well as most other auto attack based gods. Witchblade, I guess, is kind of situational, but I don't see many situations where you wouldn't want to pick this up unless there's absolutely no healing and they don't do attack speed lots, like they don't have lots of auto attack based gods. But even then, it's just like you're getting pretty good stats off of it anyways. So it wouldn't be a terrible thing to pick up. But again, any like health items I'd pick up here, even like a runic shield would be good if you're against a Freya. Stuff like that. I'm trying to think of anything else that I missed. I think that pretty much covers mostly everything you'd be looking to build on him. That's like all the defense items. I don't really like Blackthorn Hammer. I tried it the other day. I wasn't a huge fan. It just seems like an awkward to use passive. I won't really pick up Runeforged on her, I don't think. So yeah, all in all, that's what probably you'd be looking for on the Bellona. And other auto attack based warriors if you're wondering, if you're trying to get direction. Try it out, see what you think. Switch some stuff up, see if you like other stuff better, and let me know. But anyways, hope that helps out just a little bit at least. So thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you again for another episode in a little while where I'll be doing a different god. And yeah, take care, everyone.